Hi guys, my name is Beatrice. I'm freaking out. This is my very first YouTube video. I can't even believe it. I'm here, finally on YouTube. Wow. Okay, let me get it together. Welcome to Bee's Creations. On this channel, I will be sharing lots of sewing videos. I'm currently working on some cute stuff for the season right now, fall. So what I will be doing is using commercial patterns like McCall's, Simplicity, Vogue patterns, and then step by step, I will share with you all how I make those beautiful dresses. I am so excited for that. As you can see, I have natural hair. So on this channel, I plan on sharing with my beautiful natural girls out there what I've been doing to grow my hair. I've been natural for over 5 years now. So I'm not an expert, but I've been doing trial and errors. I'm always here trying new stuff to see what works best for my natural hair. So I plan on sharing that with you. But that's gonna be in the future. Right now, I'm only working on sewing. So I'm trying to put myself out there with some sewing videos and then see how it is. But I know natural hair is my thing, so I will definitely have to do some stuff for that. Yes, if you are watching this today, so please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a chance to see me next time. I'm planning on posting a new video on this channel every Wednesday. So yes, if you would like to see me again, subscribe to my channel, like and comment. Let me know how I did on my first video. In today's video, I will be sharing with you how I achieved this beautiful dress that I'm wearing. It is so cute, you guys. I love this dress. It was so easy to make. It is a McCall's pattern 7740. I love the feel of the fabric, very soft and lightweight. And the dress is a fully lined dress. The feel of it is just so nice. So, and also the back, guys will see that later. The dress has a back opening with ties, which I'm so in love with. It's so sexy. Yeah, and it's a short dress. So I can't wait to share that with you all. What else did I miss about my channel? So yeah, that's basically what my channel is about. Sewing, and beauty and style. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. With right side together, I pinned the front bodice and the back bodice at the shoulder seams. I'm gonna stitch 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on both sides. Now I'm stitching 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, back stitch at the beginning and at the end. I went ahead and folded ties pattern piece number 8 and pinned the edges. I'm going to do the same for the pattern piece number 9 and number 10. Stitch 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, then pivoting at the end. Stitch the remaining ties the same way. I've already trimmed the ties seam allowance very close to the stitch line. Now I'm using a loop turner to turn them right side out. Then I gave them a good press. I'm going to do a basting stitch to baste the raw edges. I've already pinned ties number 8, 9, and 10, matching all the dots. Now I'm doing a basting stitch to attach all of them to the back opening edges. I went ahead and pinned the front bodice lining to back bodice lining with right side together at shoulders, just like I did for the bodice, for the dress bodice earlier. Now I'm stitching 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, back stitch at the beginning and at the end. I've already pinned the bodice lining to the bodice of the dress. I pinned the neck and back opening and the lower edges of the sleeves, right side together. Now I'm stitching 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, back stitch at the beginning and at the end. I'm making sure I follow the neck curve . And also I sew the lower edges of the sleeves. I trimmed the seam allowance about 1/4 of an inch to the stitch line. I'm stitching here right through the lining and the seam underneath. Understitch will help the lining to stay underneath and not roll to the other side. I'm going really slow with this. I gave it a good press, and that's how that looks. I've also pinned the bodice front and the bodice back together at the side seam, like so. Using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, I stitch in one continuous seam for both sides. I turned the lining down and now using a basting stitch for the raw edges. Now I'm about to start with the skirt. I traced the back skirt dots and pinned them, making sure I followed the tracing line for the darts. Now I'm stitching following the line. I don't backstitch at the end. I just tie the thread like so. I press the darts towards the center back seam. Did that for both. And I also pinned the back sections together. I'm going to base stitch at the beginning to the big circle, then using a normal length stitch to stitch from the big circle to the end. Back stitch at the big circle and at the end. I went ahead and I pressed open the back skirt seam allowance. Now, placing the zipper face down, I'm going to pin it through the seam allowance. Making sure the skirt is to the left of me. I'm going to base stitch through the seam allowance. I'm using a regular zipper foot to stitch the zipper. And base stitch the other side the same way. Now I'm using a seam ripper to unstitch the back skirt basting stitch, making sure I stop at the big circle. And open the zipper like so. Since the zipper is very long, I'm able to unzip it all the way down, making sure the zipper pull is out of my way. I'm going to stitch very close to the zipper tip. I'm using my fingers to open the zipper tape and stitch very close to the zipper tip. Do the same for the other side. And that's how that looks. A very clean finish, invisible zipper. I'm super pleased with the look. I'm going to cut the end of the zipper, but not the top. That will be for later. Now with right side together, I'm pinning front skirt to back skirt at the side seam. I'm stitching 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, back stitch at the beginning and at the end. I went ahead and pinned the dress bodice to the skirt. Right side together, matching all the notches and side seams. I've already stitched the back skirt lining dart and I gave it a good press towards the center back. I've also stitched the skirt lining together at the back seam. I started sewing where my marking is, leaving the top part open. Now I'm pinning the skirt lining front to the skirt lining back together at the side seam. With right side together, now I'm pinning the skirt lining to the skirt over bodice, matching all notches. I'm stitching 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, back stitch at the beginning and at the end. This is where I cut the top part of the zipper. Now, I'm clipping the corners to make sure everything lays flat. And that's how that looks. I'm going to slip stitch by hand to cover the zipper tape. I did this part off camera. I did a blind hem for the dress and the dress lining. I also did a French tack to attach the lining to the dress at the back seam and to both side seams. I'm all done with my dress. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video.